Let's get moving!
Hey there, welcome to Ask Dr. Foot. My name's Dr. Brenden Brown. I'm a podiatrist in Sydney, Australia. Today we are going to talk about netball shoes. It's netball season. It's time. Kids are out there, ladies are out there, ready to look for what shoe they're going to wear. So today we're going to talk all about netball shoes. So I am here with iconic Australian footwear, what do we call you?
Developer.
Footwear developer, who's been quite involved in the Netburner, Mark. And so he's going to talk to us about helping you decide on what is the best shoe for you to play netball in. So, Mark, thank you for joining us. ASICS Australia. You've been with ASICS a long time now?
37 years.
37 years.
Yes.
You started like when you were 5?
That's right.
That's exactly
That's
right.
how I tell the story.
Yeah. So you've been really involved in footwear development for a very long time, mate. You're actually the head of product.
Yes. General
product?
manager of product.
General manager of product. It
Yes.
means you kind of like one of the guys that wears the fez, so to speak. You've like got the big feathers on at the table. Is that right?
No, I wear an ASICS cap.
Oh, you wear ASICS cap.
So yeah.
Tell me about your history with the Netburner.
I moved from Adelaide.
Yep.
I married a netballer. That's probably half my problem. It's all right, but we're no longer together.
Yeah.
But yes, and I moved in 95 from Adelaide.
Yep.
To start netball development and football with ASICS. We were doing very well in Adelaide with the business, and because of my work with podiatrists in Adelaide, they said, right, come to Sydney, and they said, we want you to actually go around store by store and train people. And they then said, what do you want to do? And I said, I actually want to develop footwear. And they said, great, what do you want to do? And that's how we got into the conversation of netball shoes and football boots.
So were there any netball shoes kind of when you were out there, mate? Like when you started with this, netball shoes? Yes, no?
Yes, we started with a proper netball shoe. There
Right.
were cheap netball shoes around.
Right.
By some brands I won't mention, but they're not even around anymore.
Okay.
But they were really court tennis type shoes.
Sure.
And that often happens now. A lot of brands will say they've got a netball shoe, but it hasn't been built from the ground up as a netball shoe. It was either a volleyball shoe or a cross trainer or whatever. These shoes that we develop are netball shoes from the time it was a concept in my head.
Yeah. So your concept from the beginning of these little puppies is this is for this person to play netball in and this type of person to play netball in.
Yeah, and often what happens is that sometimes our shoes are used in the Northern Hemisphere for volleyball.
Yep.
So it's actually the other way around.
That. Yeah.
So, yes, often what happens here is that because we're a very small market in the world sense, is that a major brand will tell their local distributor here is a netball shoe, but it's actually a volleyball shoe.
Okay. But so let's get straight into this. Let's start talking, because there's a lot of people out there, you know, they want to get a netball shoe. They're just not sure where to go. But let's start first with, we've got some running shoes over here.
Yeah.
Why don't I just pick up this fabulous looking Nimbus, which is, I love Nimbus. I actually wear Nimbus as a running shoe. Why don't I play netball in a running shoe?
Well, for a start, you look very ugly in a bodysuit, so I don't think you should be playing.
Can you believe that? He says I'd look ugly in a bodysuit.
Sorry, sometimes truth.
In a skirt.
In a skirt?
Yes. I'm sorry, mate. It's just not on.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
All right, so
I'm going to give you that. I think that's fair. Yep.
But so let's talk about the girls who are actually wanting to buy a netball shoe. The thing that is actually, people often say to me, why don't you wear a running shoe for netball? The first thing is that we tend to build a netball shoe with a little bit firmer midsole than what's in a running shoe.
Okay. Can you help me? Because the people at home aren't as teched up as maybe you and I are, or particularly you. Where's a midsole, Mark? What's a midsole?
Okay, so there's three basic principles to a shoe.
Right.
You have the outsole, which is the rubber outsole. Then you have the midsole, which is some sort of
through
foam,
here.
and this is the cushioning mechanism of the shoe.
Can you see that, Master Shendi?
Yes.
Yes.
And,
Outsole, midsole,
and upper.
upper. So the bit that comes along and grabs your foot.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. So you were talking about midsole, which is this middle bit. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So the midsole is basically the cushioning device of the shoe. And in running, it's very important because we want to protect the foot as much as possible and you're doing a lot of longer distance.
Sure.
So the foam is a little bit more spongy,
Yeah.
but then it should have a good rebound. In the netball shoe, we still want that cushioning, but it has to be a stable sort of compression set, as we call it.
Okay. Right.
So we make it a little bit of a different compression set.
Okay.
And that's actually in the press when they do the midsole and
Yep.
how they do it. So in the running shoe, it's allowed to expand a little bit more. In the netball shoe, we're trying to hold it and keep that platform stable.
Okay. And you're trying to do that because when we're running, we're mostly going this way, whereas when we're doing netball, we're going this way and that way and that way and that way and that way. So we want that to be more set, right?
Yes, yes. And that then takes me to the next point. Of running shoes normally use blown rubber.
Okay. Yep.
Now, blown rubber is actually air-injected solid rubber,
Right.
and it's very spongy. But
Yep.
the thing about it, it doesn't like abrasion. So when you're running in that straight motion, no problem. The other thing is that with blown rubber, we have to what we call die cut the
Right.
rubber.
Yep.
You can't actually put wraps on the medial
Okay,
side
so-
or lateral side of the shoe.
Right.
So if you look at any of our netball shoes, we have wraps.
They have nice wraps.
Yes.
There's only like one in the range that has a die cut. Is that right? Like a much cheaper, lower. I think I've seen.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
The cheaper one is actually an old tennis toilet.
Oh,
that we
right.
use.
Okay. So this wrap
Yes.
is what the difference is because you actually can do this with this material, whereas you can't do this with
You
this.
can't do it with this. And
Yep.
the other one is that this outsole would burn out very quickly.
Sure.
In all of our netball shoes, they're solid rubber.
Yep.
So they last a lot better.
Okay.
And that's why we do the herringbone pattern. Although solid rubber doesn't have the give of sponge rubber,
Yep.
by doing the herringbone pattern, it gives that little bit more.
Okay. And so essentially for parents out there, the thing is these little bits are going to chip off.
They
Yep.
basically just wear down.
They just wear down and they might come off, but whereas this, they're going to be more stable.
Yep.
The other thing is this shoe does, can you see that, Shendi? Does this. Any netballer will know that shoe does this, and that's designed to let you do this, whereas this is designed to go that way,
Yes.
but not go around and around in circles.
And the other one that is the important thing is that when you look at a running shoe, because it's a die cut, you can actually see there's a sharp feather
Sharp
edge.
edge.
So that when a girl playing netball hits this edge,
Sure.
it collapses.
Okay. Yep.
With these is that they're rounded.
They're much more rounded, aren't they?
So
Can you all see that at home?
So that actually allows a little bit of time for proprioception, as you being a podiatrist know very well.
I do.
Maybe you have to explain that a little bit more.
Proprioception is our ability to know where we are in space, so where our foot position is, whether it's on an angle, whether or not it's straight, whether or not it's going forward or backwards. That's the easiest description of why proprioception in a shoe is important. Yep.
Very well done.
Thank you.
passed,
Thank you.
actually.
Thank you.
So with this type of shoe is that we often say that when you've got one of these sharp edges, is basically the shoe takes the foot.
Okay.
The idea of actually having the rounded edges is there's that fraction of time that you are picking up or the proprioceptive feedback is that you can maybe pull the shoe back and it doesn't take you into an inversion
Absolutely.
sprain.
Right. Okay.
So that's something
Super important.
Super important.
Okay, great. All right. So we've talked about outsole, midsole, anything else in particular difference between a running shoe, or that's basically our kit?
We tend to toughen the upper.
Okay.
So that for any abrasion that goes on, again, also there's a lot of lateral movement going on.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you want to stabilise the upper a little bit more so that you're staying on the platform.
So this is wrapping around, this is holding them more stable?
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of times, when you're running, you're not going to land like that, whereas in netball, it's really common, you watch someone jump for a pass, they're going to land like this, you know.
That's right.
So for those that land like that, that's super, important. Whereas in a running shoe, if you've got that running shoe over there and you do the same thing, so not only is this going to not hold you, but then you've got the die cut, which is more likely to get you to go thump.
Exactly correct.
And that is by far the most common type of ankle sprain that you can do.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got some real differences between running shoes and netball shoes. So that's I think that's great info for parents out there that, there are some massive differences. So when the kids are talking to their folks about looking uber cool, there is actually a real difference as to why we want to keep to netball shoes on a netball court and running shoes for running. Yep.
Yes, definitely,
absolutely.
Definitely. And look, we are trying to make the cosmetics of the shoe much more attractive, that they actually look like a running shoe.
Yeah.
So that you're not actually losing out on and having those old-fashioned sort of netball looks that maybe went back 20 years. I mean, you're even looking at shoes that look like a runner.
Yeah. My I'm at the moment conning my daughter into not continuously using her netball shoe as a running shoe because she just loves the look of it. She loves this. She loves the look of these shoes.
Yes.
Because they're actually really low profile, they're looking really nice, and she much prefers them to other shoes. So look, there is a real difference out there. I think thank you, Mark, for joining us on this. I want to wrap that up because that is great information as to what is the difference. You really need to choose a netball shoe. Don't run out and grab a runner. There's a big difference. So thanks for Mark from ASICS. My name's Dr. Brenden Brown. Ask Dr. Foot. We will see you again soon. Remember, stay happy, healthy, and always stay active.